Arting about, roll 2. Interview with JP, take 4.
Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Scott Peters, and this is Arting About. I'm here with painter, photographer, JP Wright, and a very close personal friend. And JP is going to be one of 6 artists who are involved with a gallery showing that we're doing up in Northern California in the wine country. And JP is a great friend and a fabulous artist. And JP, say hello to all our fabulous friends on YouTube and everywhere else in the world.
Hello, everyone on everywhere else in the world and YouTube.
So, my brother, can you tell us a little bit of what you're doing here? I mean, I really love your work, and I've known you for 20 plus years, and I've watched you go through some great transformations. So, who, what, where, why, when?
Well, I started shooting pictures in the 5th grade when I was living in Cleveland, Ohio, and it was just always a hobby. And then I got into the military and I learned how to develop black and white film and develop the paper. And when I got out of the military, I enrolled in Sac State and majored in theater arts, and I minored in photography.
And that's it? Okay, interview done. Wrap up, 4 hours of setup, 5 minutes for interview.
You have to ask me the questions. I'm not going to feed it to you.
When did you know you had talent, JP? I mean, when?
Oh, see, that's just it. I never looked at it as talent. It was just, I don't know, it's weird. I hated. I didn't want the label of artist or photographer or anything. It was just something that I did. And then eventually you have to accept the fact that you are an artist, writer, photographer, whatever it is. So once I accepted that, then I realized that my stuff was different than other people's. Not better, just different.
Right. Did you notice that when you were accepted at LACMA? Was that one of the moments? JP, why don't you tell our friends, see, we try to get some artists for you folks, people who are humble, which may not, be JP, but people who were recognized by folk as having some level of artistry and talent, and JP had his work shown at LACMA, so why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
I was painting one of my pictures out at Starbucks in Beverly Hills, on Beverly Drive one morning. And as I was sitting there painting, a woman came up and asked me, had I ever thought about showing my work in a gallery? And I thought she was joking. And I said, well, yeah, I thought about showing my work in a gallery, but I don't think it would ever be in a gallery. And she goes, well, I like your work. You should think about submitting it to LACMA. They have a show 3 times a year for emerging artists in Los Angeles.
Well, tell us what LACMA is for those people who don't know about LACMA.
LACMA is Los Angeles County Museum of Art. It's one of the major art galleries in Los Angeles. So it's up there with the Met in New York City. I was sitting at this coffee shop painting pictures. The lady offered me this invitation to submit my work. I submitted 10 slides and an application to the Art Rental Sales Department at LACMA. And they called me in for an interview. I brought in 3 pieces of my work. We talked about the work, and they said, you may hear from us, you may not hear from us. Long story short, I was one of 4 people that did a group show, and each person submitted 3 pieces of work. After reviewing my portfolio, they wanted 12 pieces, so I had 12 hand-tinted pieces shown at the gallery, and every piece was sold out opening night. And I lost my voice.
I happened to be there that night, and I could attest to that happening for sure.
A lot of my work involves, the majority of my work involves my 3 sons, Nicholas, Brandon, and Justin. They're a permanent fixture in a lot of my work. I took them up to UCLA to view one of the shows and didn't realize that the gallery was closed on a Sunday. As we were leaving UCLA, we came down into Beverly Hills and I saw Jackie Chan walking along the road. I did a U-turn in the middle of Beverly Hills and asked him for his autograph for my 3 sons that was in the car. The only thing I have him to sign was one of my artist books that I keep my photographs in. As he was signing the photographs, he asked me what the work was, and I explained it to him. And then he said, well, you can paint me. And I said, of course I can. So he gave me his phone number information. I gave him mine. He called me up 3 weeks later. I ended up shooting his son, which he bought several prints. And that was my brush with Jackie Chan.
As a side note, do you know what happened to JR just recently?
No.
He was arrested and convicted for drug use in China and got 6 months in jail, and Jackie couldn't get him out. So you know it was serious.
Are you serious?
I just heard it just past 2 weeks ago or so.
His son?
That's his son, the one you shot.
For drug trafficking?
Not drug trafficking, for drug something. It was drug related. I'm not going to say trafficking. Not starting any rumors here.
Hey, I got pictures of him when he was a kid.
And very good ones. Right?
Yes, and you were there.
Why don't we talk about some of the stuff you have here? Why don't you start with one of your earlier pieces, which actually is one of my favorite of his works, which is the subject of his sons.
One of my earlier pieces is this piece right here, which is called Perceptual Movement. And actually, Robin was one of the people that suggested that I put it in one of my shows. I shot this picture in Sacramento at the train station in one of their abandoned buildings. And one of the things that caught my eye with shooting this particular picture was that most people would normally shoot their kids or their subjects facing the camera. I chose to have my kids moving away from the camera, or to give the appearance of moving away from the camera. And with the light coming in from the right, I have my son move his leg just a little bit. And that tiny little movement right there, if you stare at the picture long enough, you just see him start walking. And that's one of my first pieces.
So that one seems to be very much, straight photography with little or no adjustment.
This is a 32 by 40 black and white print that was sepia tone in the dark brown, which means I gave it that age effect to it, so it's just a tad brown. This is a picture entitled Schooling Carmen, and this picture was done for a friend of mine who is a writer, Kathleen Cross. She's working on a book called Schooling Carmen, and this photograph, this hand-tinted photograph, was supposed to be on the cover of her book. But the editors chose something different, but I am mentioned in her book and the artwork.
What do they know, right?
Yeah. This piece right here I shot in San Bernardino at the train station, and it's my sort of take on Vogue fashion in the early 1940s. I think a woman's sexuality and the innocence of that can be priceless. So this is sort of poking fun at, yes, I'm fine, but you can't see everything.
Right.
This piece right here, it actually is of a young lady that used to work at a coffee shop that I used to frequent all the time, and that's where I actually painted a lot of my pictures. It's a Starbucks in Los Angeles on La Brea. And she was so kind and so nice to me, just letting me sit there and paint my photographs for hours at a time. I decided to shoot her and do a picture for her father, which he has hanging in his shop.
Well, through this lens, it looks almost three-dimensional. I mean, if you should come around here and take a look at it. Actually, look how that looks like three-dimensional. Look at that. Isn't that pretty crazy?
I purposely did the eyes like that because her eyes are this color, but I normally don't accentuate the whiteness in people's eyes because to me it takes away from the photograph. Mm-hmm. But like you said, when you look at it with this one, and because so much paint is on the left side and not on the right side, it just sort of works that way. You focus on her eyes, and when you look at her, you focus on her eyes. So it works. This is a photograph of a friend of mine who also worked at a coffee shop. Like I mentioned earlier, I say I painted a lot of coffee shops. I used to paint at the Coffee Bean in Santa Monica.
Right.
And this is one of my friends who used to give me a lot of coffee just to watch me paint. So I actually took him out one day and shot some photographs of him, and it actually came out pretty well. And when I chose the colors in this one, I was actually looking for like that superhero underworld detective. The young lady you see behind me is my wife, Laura. She's also the subject of a lot of photographs that I've painted. This particular photograph is one of my favorites because I've always been a big fan of Angela Davis and the Black Panthers. And subconsciously, I don't think we ever know what we want to shoot when we go out and shoot it. And then at the same time, I think we do. So I have an idea or premise inside my head of what I want, but it's not until I get out there that I really get it. And usually if you have a great subject, they do all the work for you. I just set everything up. When I shoot pictures, I have an idea in my head of what I want to go and shoot. A storyboard inside my head of what I want to go and shoot. But I've never stuck to it because when I get out there, usually that storyboard will change. For instance, when I was doing this, it took me forever just to get my wife to get her hair in that afro style because it takes forever because her hair is so long. But once I got it, I knew I wanted a throwback to the 1960s. Mm-hmm. So as long as I got that image in my head, and when I looked at her, she gave me the image, whatever setting I set it in, I would still get it. But usually when I shoot the process, I just have an idea of what I want. Usually when I see the person, they fit within an idea of what I want. And I've already got the location in my head. So once I get the location, I'm just trying to find a person that I can fit inside that location to go and shoot. For example, I'll see a young lady, I'm like, oh, she would be cool if I had a dress from the 30s that was linen and it draped across her. And she was sitting on some steps and I could get a basket and maybe spend $100 on some snap beans. I'd have her sitting in a chair or on a step and she would be snapping the beans. And her hair would be in pigtails. And the dress would probably be yellow. And she's got a stack of cookbooks on the side. So I just keep building this and building this. And then I actually get all that. The photo's already done. I just need to go and find a place. And when I get there, I may take away all the books. And I may just have the woman with the grocery bag. And the grocery bag, all the groceries have fell out of the bottom. Or they've fallen out of the bottom. And she's trying to hold it. And she's having a very bad day. So it could change. But the whole thing of the woman and the groceries and the food and the dog, whatever she's doing, is still there.
Cool. So the piece behind you is, I always found this a very interesting piece here because it's similar to this one that you have here with your friend with the cigar. So
I was working on my master's in humanities at Cal State Dominguez Hills, and we were studying Picasso and Jules Desperate Cubism. And before that, it was Manet and the heavy painting with the knives and stuff like that.
Right.
So I didn't think that you could be influenced in that way when you're working on someone else's work. When I started doing this, I was thinking about subconsciously, I guess, all those pictures with all those heavy paintings and heavy brushstrokes. So I purposely tried to do that with this photograph. Actually, I'm happy because I don't know if I could reproduce it, but this is exactly what I wanted to turn out to be.
I'm looking at the eyes. I mean, Laura's eyes here, sort of speckled with sunburst, and each eye. This one is really, fascinating. I mean, is that something that? Am I making this one up, or is it?
No. A lot of times you can look for a subject, or you can come up with a theme to go out and shoot.
Right.
And then sometimes all you need is the person. Because the person's face says a lot. A lot of times I'll just have the photographs of the subjects and I'll paint what I want in there. But it's their eyes. It's something within their face that you see that you like. That you're drawn to it. We do not know what we're doing when we're doing it. We have an idea, but we can't put it into words. Why I stopped and looked at this building. Why I shot that car. Why you wrote this. It could be something tearing you up inside why you wrote this particular play. But it was something else that moved you to keep doing it. So I just think we do it because we want to keep talking and this is just our dialogue.
So what's your new dialogue now?
Digital.
All right, can you show us some of that?
Yes. Right here is a couple of pieces I've been working on. And now what I'm doing is I'm taking the process of the work I've already created and mixing it in with other stock photography that's out there or magazine ads or something that I may see that I could blend it in together.
Let me get a close up here. tell me more about that. So,
Well, for example, this picture right here of the man with the cigar is the same picture that I have up here on the wall. But because I see him as this underworld figure, I chose to use as a backdrop in this particular picture an old photograph of a scary house. And then you got what a lot of people are afraid of. You got a clown. And then within that clown, you got a picture of Dorothy Stanwyck in Sorry, Wrong Number. And she's terrified. So then you just put all these pieces together like a puzzle.
so you're a puzzler now, is what you're saying?
Photo puzzle.
Oh, wait a minute. That's got to be a new term.
No, it's
Hold on. What did you say? That was a what?
photo puzzler.
Say it again?
Photo puzzler.
One more time.
Photo puzzler.
That's you.
Photo puzzler.
Right now, designer.
Photo puzzler.
If I'm an art collector, you know, what would you want to tell someone that walks into the gallery to see you work? I mean, what would you hope that they would experience? I mean, what is it that you're if there's a message or, you know, an ABC of a message, you know, what are you hoping to get through? I know this is, I mean, that's not your end result when you start this. I mean, you don't think, oh, I'm going to reach my public, but when it's done and you look at your body of work, and JP has many pieces that are certainly not shown here, what would you hope the person experiences?
What I've always hoped from the beginning, from when I first started doing photography, is that you are able to separate my work from anyone else's, and not in some egotistical sense. If there was a gallery show in the future and they needed 12 artists, and all you could submit was one piece of work without your name, and you put it up on the wall, will somebody be able to walk in and say, I know whose work that is? Well, how do you know? Because I know how he uses light. I know how he likes to use his colors. I know what type of subjects they like to use. I know what time of day they'll probably shoot this photograph. I know what type of expressions they like, or if they use a lot of props, or if it's abstract. They know your work without your name on it. That's really what it is. It's like, because now they see what you see in the world.
Mm.
All photographers are egotistical, all artists are egotistical in the sense that we want you to see how we see the world. People can say that that's not it, but that's exactly what it is. I want you to see how I see the world. Just like you with your camera right now, you want somebody to see how you see other artists.
Well, let's see how another artist lives. JP, thank you so much for giving up your time today. We're looking forward to introducing you to people in person on the April 1st in Galt, California, at RSP Creative Studios, the gallery. The address is 305 4th Street in Galt, California, 95632, and we'll have all this posted. And JP will be there with some of his great art that you see here and other pieces. And any last words?
If I'm in jail, come get a brother out. Because the charges will be false. Come help me, my people. Set me free.
Galt is not only known for its trains, its wines, and its cows, but now for its art. rspcreativestudios.com.
Art does the body good.
Don't judge yourself.
I am Ramona
Those are the
Simone
censors.
Picasso,
Don't judge yourself.
and I
There's
approve
lots of great tape,
this.
and you're gonna see. You know.
We're here at RSP Creative Studios in Galt, California. This is the main gallery. It is approximately a little over 2,000 square feet. As you can see, we've got two great walls. This wall to my right here is the highest wall. I think it's about 15 feet high to the top. And this is just a bit smaller, about 10 there, and then the rest is a soffit that we will also be hanging our artwork on. Here's the front of the store. As you can see, lots of glass and just exposure, exposure, exposure. And I'm just going to cruise through the studio here to show you sort of the feel of it as we walk by. I'm using a really wide-angled lens, a Nikkor lens that gets down to a 1.8. It's a 14-24 millimeter, and it really gives you a great perspective into the studio. This is the 3,500 square feet artist co-op space that we are now offering to people such as you that are looking at this, you great artist. We've got over 20 feet in ceilings. We've got super supported beams where we can hang special art from. We've got middle posts where we can again hang some great pieces from. Walls everywhere. Just amazing spot that is the place for an artist colony, an artist co-op, and RSP Creative Studios is going to do just that. Look at all this glass, all this open space that just is fronted to the main drive. This is C Street that we're facing. It's a north-facing window, so we never get direct light. There's west over there, and we get lots and lots and lots of traffic, drive-by traffic, foot traffic. This area is becoming a very popular area as it's a redevelopment area. We've got great restaurants down here, a wine bar. Look at this, look at these ceilings, look at these walls. If you're an artist, can you imagine? I know you can, being in here, working in here, selling in here, having a space for yourself. Now, some special thoughts that for those of you who, this is the original vault for the Whitaker Ray Bank way back in the mid-1800s. Somebody had to cut in there to get in there. You should see it's inside, but you have to come down. That I'm going to have to make you come down to see. Just lots of great space, height. You know, we've got these floors that really we don't have to worry about, you know. So if you're an artist, you're painting in here and you spill a little something, okay, well, no deal, wipe it up, right? If you're doing a little bit of sculpting and you get a little clay, a little bronze, a little whatever on the ground, hey, you know, pick it up, everything's good. This is a workspace, live space, play space, art space. It is an artistic convergent zone. I've opened the door and we're going to go in and take a look at what's happening here. It's a great spot. Okay, I'm going to walk in here. I'm going to pull the door closed behind us. Because we're here by ourselves. A little privacy. As you can see, it's just an amazing. You empty into this sort of foyer. So there's an entry here to almost like an apartment. I'll show you that in a second. This goes into the two main galleries, and this goes into an incredible space. This, I'll just show you what I'm talking about. Look at that. Can you see it? Look at this. It is as big as this 14 by 24 millimeter wide angle lens is showing you. It's a big, beautiful space, about 4,000 square feet right here in your eyes with these amazing high ceilings. And quite honestly, I'm not thinking about doing too much in terms of changing this. I really like the ability to come in here. Of course, there'll be light. There's light up there. But look at all that natural light. It's about 6 o'clock right now, and the sun is over us on the west side. We're facing north. It never gets direct light, so beautiful light, always soft.
South, east, north.
Yes, I know. Thank you for telling me, all you people out there. But look, so basically what's going to happen here, we're going to break up the different spaces. In this space, we're going to offer people a larger space if they need bigger spaces, say like you sculptors and things, you need bigger spaces, and you get a certain amount of height in your
in your booth on the first floor. If you want to hang or use any of the beams there, that would be a different space, okay? So you get, sort of a cube, so it's 8 by 12 by 8. You can leave your things here, it'll be safe, secure, nobody can get in here. It's a beautiful spot. We love it. So this is the one room, all right? So now we're gonna move into the other 2 galleries. Okay, so let's move into the little apartment. Okay, so this is maybe where I would live. But it's also available, what it would be is available for, again, higher end jewelry or whatever. People who are interested in maybe, being a bit more upscale. So we get the wood floors and you have some finish and you can come in here. So this is the first room. And this is about 12 by 12. Again, high ceilings. And that leads into another room. Same thing, but the same size, a little bit bigger, not too much. A couple of bathrooms up here as well, which are functional, just need to be, bleached. No problem. My mom taught me how to clean, so I'm not afraid of a little elbow grease. And all of this, of course, will be ready for you when you check in. Another bathroom here. And you can see much cleaner, of course. So, and there's a shower even. So when you're done doing all your heavy work, you can come on in here when the wood panel is not there and you can get your groove on. And here's another one of the galleries. This is beautiful. This is about 2,000 square feet. And look at the view. Look at the light. Now we're facing a little west, but look at the light. Look at the beautiful light just streaking through here. Can you see it? If you're an artist and you don't see how you should be here, then I don't know what to do. That to me right there, that's art. Light, shadow, line, depth. Come put your art here, see what happens. And if you don't want this room, how about this room? Look at this. Another 2,000 square feet. Backing up. Look at this. This, my friends, RSP Creative Studios is bringing to Galt, California.